Genetic feats such as three-parent babies are usually the reserve of science fiction. But incredibly, the world's first three-parent baby has been born in Mexico. Professor Michelle Ramsey is from the Institute for Molecular Biology at Wits University. She joins us to discuss how this is possible. Prof, thanks very much for coming in today. I must say, for laymen like me, or perhaps Philistines like me, it's very difficult to understand what the procedure actually entailed. Can you explain that to us in the simplest way possible, please?
Yes, of course, Joanne, and this is a very exciting development. So what it was in a family who have a genetic condition which is carried not in the nucleus but in the mitochondria, which are the powerhouses of the cell, but that have their own DNA. And it means that when a woman has those mitochondria with the mutations, that all her children will be affected. So this is the story of a family who sadly have had multiple miscarriages and 2 children who were born and died quite young. So it was really a procedure to help them have healthy children. So it's a Jordanian family who was seen by a fertility expert from New York, and the procedure, as you say, was done in Mexico. So what they did was they took an ovum or an egg from the mother who carries this genetic disorder, and they removed the nucleus, which is really the genetic material. And then they had a donor ovum, and from the donor ovum they removed the nucleus so that just the ovum with these little powerhouses were left. And they then took the nucleus from the mother and put it into this ovum. So they basically had an ovum which had genetic material not only from the woman but also from the donor. And then in the laboratory they did artificial insemination with the sperm from the dad. And then they implanted that, and this is how this baby was born.
It's quite amazing to think of it. How do we know that this child is not going to be affected by the nature of the procedure, or there won't be any long-term effects, since he is only 5 months old, I understand?
Very good questions, and apparently this healthy baby was born on the 6th of April, but they say apparently healthy, and I think much more examination of the baby is really necessary to understand what has happened. So I think there are inherent dangers in doing something like this, and there are bits of information that we don't actually have. In the news that I've read, it says that they actually did this procedure and there were 5 embryos, of which 4 were abnormal. So there was only 1 that was normal and they implanted it, but we don't know if this is the first time that they did the procedure or whether they have been trying for a very long time. So I think also we need sort of scientific validation, because this hasn't been written up in a scientific journal yet. So we're all looking forward to seeing that, because we want them to examine the baby's DNA to show really that it does have the origins or the DNA of the 3 people, the father, the mother, and then the donor of the ovum.
It's interesting that this raises the question of ethics. Many people are watching this asking, as they did around the issue of cloning, just how ethical is this? Are doctors playing God?
Yes, so it's very important to look at the ethical issues, and interesting that only in the UK has legislation been passed to actually approve this kind of procedure. But I think we still don't fully understand the dangers and the safety of doing a procedure like this. I think people are concerned, but I think we always have to be reminded of in vitro fertilization and the fact that there are so many IVF babies walking around being quite okay. So I think, we really need to maybe take the step and do these procedures, but only if we feel that they are safe and will not be a danger to the offspring. So I think this is the first baby that's been born with this procedure. I think in the UK we will see other babies born, and only with time will we get a better understanding of really how safe it is. So many ethical issues around this.
Well, thank you for unpacking that for us so well, Professor. It was very good to talk to you, Professor Michelle Ramsey from the Institute for Molecular Biology at Wits University, talking to us about this amazing scientific development. We'll recap our headline stories next.